God. We could go anywhere in the Bible for this. And I have preached a message somewhat similar to this in the past, but not exactly the same, so bear with me. We have several ex-military men in the church, and we also have an ex-military lady in the church who is a decorated veteran. Amen. And highly qualified, by the way. Amen. I don't want to embarrass Miss Cindy too bad. Doctor, just about. Amen. So those of you, everybody in here who has held, owns, or shot a firearm in the past, this will be familiar to you. At least the theory. And then I'll ask you some questions at the end. So there'll be a test. How about that? It'll be one that you all can easily pass, though. In the military, which I did 9.5 years, almost 10, and got to see a lot of different weapons used. And at that time, I was a weapons freak. I just loved guns, and especially big guns. Amen? Anything that goes bang. Oh yeah, more about that. But what they do, what the military does, is they refer to weapons and weapons platforms separately. And a weapons platform, by the way, can be several different things. Any system of delivery of a weapon. Brother James Chandler served for how long, Brother Jim, on submarines? 20 years. 20 years. That is cool, isn't it? To be in a pressurized can at the bottom of the ocean. But I think it's neat. I like to study. I've done a lot of reading. I've read probably 50 at least, if not more, novels on submarines. I like the whole thing. German U-boats, all that kind of stuff. World War II. I get a kick out of all that kind of stuff. The Battle of Midway. The weapon system that the Nazis developed. The weapon systems used by the Japanese. I just like to read all kind of useless information like that. It's absolutely worthless, but I like to read that kind of stuff. How many of y'all, you have the same affliction? Your brain is a warehouse of useless information. Yeah. Well, a weapons platform, though, most people don't consider it like this, but a weapons platform is anything that delivers the weapon. So your jet, your bomber, your submarine, destroyers in the Navy, anything like that, helicopter, tank. A tank is a delivery system. It's a weapons platform. It's got one purpose, and that's to get the weapon to a usable place of employment, right? Right. Submarines the same way. Submarines got one purpose, and that's to deal with other submarines or other threats. But the primary purpose is to deliver weapons to a place where they can be delivered effectively against our loving neighbors. Yeah. Right? Yeah. The weapons, of course, are the missiles. The things that cause the damage, the devastation. Right? Brother Eric's a weapons fanatic, right, Brother Eric? Amen. Me and you, brother, we're in there. I like helicopters. How many of y'all like that kind of stuff? How many of y'all like military hardware, period? Just a few of us. Amen. How many of you like guns? Oh, yeah. Everybody should raise their hand to the comments. Wrong with you. But a gun is the same thing. It's a platform. That's all it is. In fact, if you get on the internet and do a little digging, you'll see often that a rifle or a shotgun or a handgun or whatever, it'll be referred to as a platform to deliver the whatever you're trying to deliver, the actual thing that causes the harm. So the bullet is the weapon, right? The handgun is the weapon's platform to deliver the bullet. So if I had a pocket full of bullets and no way to shoot those, they're useless. Yeah. Got to have a weapons platform to deliver. You got to have a delivery system. And it's not just military applications. This crosses a lot of different thresholds, right? To administer some drugs, you've got to have a delivery system. You've got to have a way for that drug or whatever it is to be piggybacked on something else into the bloodstream so that it will get to a certain location so that there it can release its payload. Right? So it's not just military applications or armament applications. There's a lot of different things that you, if you use your imagination, you can immediately see how this would cross a lot of different lines. Right? Politics, legislation. Amen, y'all with me? The use of certain tactics against society to cause people, as in the Hegelian dialectic. How many of y'all are familiar with that, the Hegelian dialectic? How about some of Hitler's men that he used, Joseph Goebbels and all those different people that he used to manipulate the news and the newspapers and movies and television, radio. He used a lot of different things to manipulate the people to believe certain things to achieve a political end.
Yeah.
Right? So in that sense, do you follow me?
Yeah.
What would the television become for him or the radio become for him? It's the weapon's platform to deliver the payload of the weapon, right? So across the board, you can see how that could be brought into service. Does that make sense? With that in mind, then, a lot of different things would qualify. Bombers, jets, submarines, rifles, helicopters, drugs, narcotics, antidotes, antivenoms, neurotoxins, that kind of thing. You've got to have some kind of way to deliver those, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How about in politics? Tell me, somebody give me an example. Anybody? Just an example of how would you use politics as the platform to deliver something that you want to cause a certain effect among the populace?
News media.
The news media, yeah. Huh?
I said CNN, yeah.
How about if
The laws themselves.
I'm sorry?
The laws themselves.
Absolutely. What if I want to get you to agree to concede some right that you have? For example, during wartime, in times past, especially World War I, World War II, the right to free speech is suspended. Certain things you can't say. What would I have to do to convince you that American troops in the Middle East their lives would be jeopardized by people here doing certain things, saying certain things, posting certain videos on the internet, things like that, that would cause the people of the Middle East to be so outraged that they would kill all of our troops?
Yeah.
Press conferences. That's a weapons platform. By the way, you remember that there was a certain thing that occurred. Everybody know what I'm talking about here? Where Hillary Clinton said, under the direction of Obama, to play it off as a video that was uploaded to YouTube that caused outrage in the Middle East.
Yeah,
Benghazi, which had absolutely nothing to do with the video that was uploaded to the internet. But the spin was, let's spin this to convince the American people that they should take away the right to free speech from other citizens, and we'll use this as a catalyst to cause people to buy into the narrative that you shouldn't be able to say what you want to say. Right? So in other words, the video, the whole game of playing with the video, that was a political agenda. That had a political objective. They used the platform, they used the internet as a platform to deliver the weapon using this political agenda. That's the Hegelian dialectic. It's the premise that you try to get all the people so anxiety, so worked up against something that they'll be willing to concede or to give up voluntarily a right that 6 months earlier, there's no way you could have taken it by force.
Right.
Yeah. Amen.
You follow me on this? Everybody with me on this?
Right.
So if I can't get you to give up your weapons rights, your right to carry and bear arms, All we need to do is come up with some way to cause enough chaos and enough mass shootings and enough mass hysteria so that people who believe you should have the right to bear arms will eventually say that there's absolutely no reason anybody should bear arms, and you'll surrender that right.
Right.
Out of fear of what's going on in this mainstream population. We've got to do something to stop this.
Yeah.
So this dialectic, this system is being used ad nauseum. And it's going to continue. You say, preacher, are you trying to say that all these are fake? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying they make convenient opportunities to employ this tactic.
Right.
So the internet becomes a political tool to use against the population.
Right.
So if we can't legislate this thing voluntarily, openly, in front of the people into law, then we'll have to piggyback this on the back of something else that the people will embrace. We'll conceal this within something else to get it across. You follow that? If I can't get you to give up your right to this, or to surrender your right to that, or to go along with this, like the Democrats trying to turn America into a socialist country, if I can't get you to embrace that openly, I'll have to figure out some way to get you to embrace that without realizing you're embracing it.
Right.
I'll have to take you step by step, baby steps along the way, because if I just took a flat out step, you'd reject it. But if I go little by little by little by little by little, you'll buy it. Especially if I can get you so upset about circumstances in the world that you see that there's no alternative. I convince you that, so here's what we do. I convince you that this is the problem, and I've got the answer, and this is the answer, and as distasteful as it will be, and I agree with you, brethren, it's distasteful, but it's the only way we can solve this.
Right.
You follow that?
Yeah.
You follow the thinking.
Yeah.
Now, individually, you all will spot this a mile away, won't you? But as a mob, no, we won't, right?
Right.
One of the things I was taught when I was in the military, going through riot control school, probably you too, Brother Terry, several of the rest of you that served in the military, is that a person, an individual person, can be rationalized with, he can be spoken to, you can talk to her and make sense to her. But a group cannot be reasoned with or rationalized. They fuel each other's mob mentality. Is that not what we see every time you turn around? It's always on TV every time you turn around. You know, you read that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, bearing that thought in mind, using that means of thinking, then the weapon is the destructive device, it's the payload, it's the objective, it's the goal. If some guy comes in the back door of the church, and I'm praying to God it won't happen just like you are, I'm hoping that we won't have to deal with that, but every other church has been praying the same thing. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever, Brother Eric, that Church of Christ over there in White Settlement was praying that God would protect them and they would never have to face this thing.
Right.
Churches are going to continue to have to face this. We're not done with that. That gets smattered across the TV. It's instant fame for whatever Looney Tune does that. Whether he perishes in the endeavor or not, if he thinks that that's what he needs to do to make his name a part of history, then that's what they do. I think that's crazy thinking. I'm sure you do too, but some people, I don't know where the wires get cut, but they do.
Right.
Amen, y'all with me?
Yeah.
But if somebody comes in the back door going bananas, we have one objective. That's to deliver a weapon system to that person to stop what they're doing.
Right.
That's not ideal. That's not what we want. I'd rather just hold up a Bible and they be blinded and fall on the floor and get saved.
Right.
Amen. I would too. But Jesus said, do you have a sword? Sell something and go get one. You don't need it.
Yep.
David went to the temple to get Goliath's sword, which was being kept at the church.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep. That's right.
Amen. You say, well, preacher, everybody that picks up a sword dies by the sword. I understand that, but if I gotta die, I'd rather be dying swinging.
Right.
That's just the way I think about it.
Yeah.
Y'all with me still? Okay, now let's go on to this. Go to this text to start with. Let's start with, we'll start with Judges. Go to Judges 16. We'll look at Samson quickly. Hurry, hurry, Samson. Judges chapter 16. Samson fell to this very system. He saw in Judges 16:4 that sweet, precious, pure-hearted dog named Delilah. And Delilah did what? She betrayed him.
Yeah.
So not only does he get wrapped up with her, who's a lunatic and a maniac, but the devil used Delilah to bring down a great prophet.
Yeah.
Samson was a great prophet, a great judge.
Yeah.
And the devil used Delilah to nail him to the barn door.
Yeah.
Would you agree then that Samson did several things stupid, stepped out of God's will, just big as a lie? Amen. He made a blunder there, a bad one. He began a series of blunders with Delilah that led him to commit suicide between two pillars blind.
Right.
It started with Delilah. It started when he saw her. It started when he told his mama and his daddy, "Ooh, woo, get me that." Right? So Delilah was pretty, you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that Delilah was absolutely gorgeous?
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that she would have been one of those ladies that wins beauty contests? She would have been on TV. She'd have been on YouTube doing stinking makeup commercials and, making the stupid faces and posting Instagram and look at me, I'm so beautiful.
Yep.
That's what she is, right?
Yeah.
Little narrow between the ears, if you ask me. And Samson, you'd think he'd be smart enough that he would have spotted that and went, wow, no. They didn't, did he?
No.
So Delilah becomes what? For the devil in his life, she becomes the weapons platform. And she delivers into his life. He trusts her.
Yeah.
He embraces her. What good is a weapons platform that won't work?
Right.
Amen. I mean, we could use a rifle that's really, really nice, or I can give you a potato gun that I duct tape together out of some PVC pipes at McCoy's with a baling wire and a coat hanger and some chicken wire. I can give you that, or you could, if you were going to have to defend yourself, and I said, Miss Kay, there's some robbers going to probably come to your house because they're going to every house in Elkhart. Here's a PVC pipe and baling wire gun to defend yourself with, or here's a shotgun that's going to do perfect. That's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. And all you got to do is just look at it and it'll shoot somebody. Which would you choose? The shotgun. You wouldn't want to shoot. You wouldn't choose the stupid baling wire and PVC pipe thing. Delilah must be beautiful because she's the delivery system. She's the weapons platform.
Right.
She's to deliver into Samson's life treachery, rebellion, pride, arrogancy, adultery, fornication. She's the sexual provocation for him. She's the girlfriend. She's the boyfriend. She's the wrong wife. She's the wrong husband. She's the wrong this. She's the wrong that. She's the weapons platform.
Yeah.
You want that weapons platform to be absolutely excellent at delivering the weapon. Otherwise, the weapon is useless. You'll never get it delivered if you don't have a good platform. Delilah makes an excellent platform in Samson's life. Right? Y'all agree with that?
Amen.
How about Jezebel?
Yeah. Yes, he was.
She's a good platform. Name me some other ones. Name me some good weapons platforms that the devil used to deliver the weapons into the lives of Christians in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. Bathsheba. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. By the way, let me point this out, gentlemen and ladies. According to the Bible, Bathsheba was pleasing to look on.
Yeah.
But which is what women are designed to be, pleasing to look on. That's what they're supposed to be. That's normal, that's natural. The part of your brain that immediately says, no, I don't like that, that's wrong, that's wrong. That's because it's been perverted and destroyed by men and by this fallen world. We've ruined that. That's not the way God designed it.
Yeah.
God designed it to be right.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong with the way we treat women and the way we look at women as a society and as a world is as a result of what we did in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
We did that. Amen.
Yeah.
Like it or not, that's the truth.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that David said she was pleasing to look on. The Bible says God said she was pleasing to look on. And she was. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Hey, the Bible says David was handsome. So for her, he's probably pleasing to look on. That's part of what you've got to have in the delivery system of this kind of weapon.
Right.
Right? And hey, if I have a handgun and I've got a missile, my delivery system will not work to deliver that particular kind of weapon.
Right.
I need a weapon, I need a weapon system, a weapons platform designed to deliver that particular kind of weapon.
Right. Yeah.
Y'all follow this thinking?
Yes, sir.
Do you see the spiritual application of it, the spiritual ramifications? If I'm the devil and I'm trying to get weapon systems into your life, pride, rebellion, refusal to submit, refusal to bow to authority,
Yeah. Amen.
I need the right kind of weapons delivery platform.
Right.
Right.
You think a boyfriend could be a weapons delivery platform?
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, amen. Sure could. That's the most dangerous thing in the world for a young woman, is a young man.
Right.
Vice versa. What's the most dangerous thing in the life of a young man? Weapons platform with pretty long blonde hair,
Yeah.
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Does that mean that we're not supposed to, is it not right for young ladies to look for potential candidate mates? Vice versa? No, of course, that's the way the system is designed. It's supposed to be that way. They see each other, they like each other, and they go talk to their parents. Amen. But if they don't have the guidance of a multitude of counselors who are Christians to guide them in making a right decision about this particular platform, then it can be that the devil can step in there and go, well, since your parents are not giving you counsel that you listen to, let me just offer you some advice.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly what he's going to do. All you gotta do is look around and you see the truth of that. Is that not right?
Right.
But you all know someone married the wrong woman.
Yeah.
Amen. Hey, not only could it work in this system of dating and girlfriends, boyfriends, and all that kind of trash, what about other entertainments?
Yeah.
What about television?
Oh, yeah.
Television make a good weapons platform?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were the devil, Miss B, and you had 6,000 years to play this chess game with mankind, and you were the God of this world, and everything's in the palm of your hand, everything in this world belongs to you. If you will bow down to me, I will give you all of these kingdoms, for they are given into my hand to give them to whosoever I will.
Yeah.
Is that not what the devil said?
Yes, sir.
Is that true?
Yeah.
God of this world, can he give someone riches and power and authority and a job and all that kind of stuff?
Yes,
Can he
sir.
do that? Yes, he most certainly can. Can he give you a boyfriend that will take you right out of God's will, right out of church, and right down the street into some broke of a church where you will become an ineffective Christian? The goal being one of two things, right? Think about it. If you're the devil, what's your goal? Number one, not Christ.
Yeah.
Everything else is irrelevant. Everything else, do you agree with this, Brother Steve? Everything else is moot. It's just the details. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The goal is one objective, not Christ.
Right.
You can have anything you want. You can go in any direction you want. Your drugs, whatever other interest, bass boat, hunting, tractor pulls, riches, fame, pride, a political career, a good work ethic, whatever thing it is that you need to fulfill the gaps in your life, I'll give you that. Just don't go there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's number one goal. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care what, everything else, you pick whatever you want. Pick whatever you want. That's Kardashian. Pick anything you want. Pick any field of endeavor you want. Pick any subject range across all of society you want. It doesn't matter. Those are just frivolous details to the devil, right? If you're the devil, you have one goal. Number one, keep people from choosing Christ.
Right.
And anything else is just trivial details. That's all. That's all. Health, finances, circumstances, places you were born, places you live, the society you live in. We live in Ireland, if I can get the men to wear a kilt. Anything I can do to get you to deviate from what God wants.
Yeah.
Anything I can offer you to get you to choose anything except what God wants. It doesn't, everything else, do you follow me? Do you see the scope of this? Do you see the magnitude of this thing? Anything else is irrelevant. It's just the details. I just don't want you to choose the cross.
Right.
Number two, you did choose the cross. So now what's the objective? Easy. Any one of you should be able to tell me.
Make you ineffective.
Ineffective. That's exactly right. That's exactly what's on the note, Miss Sandy. To make you ineffective.
Bring shame to his name.
To bring shame to his name. Make you an ineffectual servant. Make you useless. The objective in delivering a weapons platform or a weapons system into the Middle East, one of our objectives over there is to use electronic explosions that will disable the power grid. All phones go out, all power goes out, which means all fuel goes out, which means all water systems goes out, which means all sewage goes out, which means all food, everything, every service will come to a halt without power.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't even pump fuel without power.
Right.
You see it?
Yeah.
Why do we do that? Because that will render the troops incapable of a defense.
Right.
That will ruin the communication. They won't even be able to talk to each other. If you can't talk to each other, and you can't eat, and you can't drink, and you can't drive, how are you going to mount an effective defense against American forces?
Right.
You're not. So the objective then is to knock out the effectiveness, the fighting capability of the enemy. Right? You see that? Now flip it over to a spiritual application. What would be your objective? To render every Christian ineffectual.
Yeah.
To offer you some weapon, to deliver some weapon into your life that would cause you to turn your back on everything that would make you a good Christian. And a boyfriend would do just a trick. For some young ladies, the boyfriend is that's just the tip.
Yeah.
The parent that gets out, that stays out, it trickles on down too.
Oh yeah, there's dominant. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Children are mighty in service. They're not being taught.
Right, right. But I'm playing the long game. If I'm the devil, I'm not trying to play the immediate game. I'm playing the long game here. Hey, if I can knock the grandparents down, and subsequently that knocks the parents down, and subsequently that wins me the children,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Say, preacher, come on, that is a cruel, and that's playing below the belt. Yeah,
Yeah. That's like laying out.
that's my objective here,
Yeah.
right? Wrong husband. Is that a weapon system? Wrong wife. Wrong boyfriend, wrong girlfriend, wrong church. Wrong church. It's a weapons platform.
Yeah.
Y'all with me on this?
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
see- Do you see the application?
Yes, sir.
How about contemporary Christian music? Hey, but I like the beat, preacher. I like the music. The tone, the tune is good. I really like this upbeat. It cheers me up. I understand that. I really do. But if I can piggyback my legislation within that song, right?
Yeah.
I can get you to accept the song just like I got you to accept Bathsheba because she was pretty. I'll just flip it over to an audio version, and the music is good. It's upbeat. It's encouraging. It makes me feel good about the Lord.
Right.
Only one little problem, the lyrics within this song take little pot shots at things that are biblical and sound. There's a song by a group called Philip, Craig and Dean. Anybody ever heard of it? How about the song I Can Only Imagine? Y'all heard of that?
Yeah.
Jars of Clay, y'all heard of that? Christian music group. One of these songs, and I've got it written on my note, I forget what it is, but it's a very, very popular Christian song. Went to the #1 Christian Billboard charts and all that, yada, yada, yada. Very popular group. If I said who it was, you'd go, oh yeah, I've heard. You probably have heard it on K-Love or B-Love or G-Love or one of them other loves on the radio. Right? They made the comment, we don't believe in the Trinity, so we don't use those lyrics. We don't say anything about it. You'd be surprised here's the problem. Is the song a good song written by a good musician who really loves God and is doing everything in his power to stay as biblical as he can or she can? Or is it written by someone that would really prefer if you didn't take biblical stands on everything? You know, don't be so preachy.
Yeah.
See, do you see what I'm saying? The danger is that it becomes a weapons platform if you're not careful with it. It introduces, it gets you to embrace. If you'll accept this, then maybe you'll like this next song we did. And if you like these two, maybe you'll accept this one. And the fourth one, I've got some lyrics in it that's really going to curl your hair.
Yeah.
And before long, I'm going to come out in some Christian magazine and admit that I really don't believe any of this stuff. I just believe God's love.
Yeah.
And you see, you all go, that's crazy. I would go, okay, well, that's it. Yeah, but what about the 9,000 other Christians who won't do that? Even if I don't get you, if I get your kid, right? What about television? It's funny. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, they've got some sodomites in it, but it's funny. And you, maybe most of you would go, well, I'm not going to change my position on this biblical precept, even if the show is funny. I know, and I agree with you. But what about your daughter? What about your granddaughter? What about the next door neighbor's kids? What, are they going to be as strong as you are? You're in a Bible-believing, Bible-preaching church. We sing songs that glorify God. Not everybody's where you are. Not everybody knows what you know. Not everybody understands. Not everybody thinks as deeply as you think.
Right.
Amen.
So if I don't get you, I'm just like a Jehovah's Witness. Well, Miss Christian, here's what we'd like to sell you some of our Watchtower magazines. And Miss Christian says, you got to be kidding. I'm not buying any of that. You guys are nuts. Oh, thank you. Well, James, we'd like to sell you, so I'm going to keep going until I get to somebody's door who's going to go, yeah, come on in. So I didn't get her, and I didn't get him, and I didn't get Terry. It's okay. There are 19 other people on the street.
Right.
And if I get 17 out of 20, then I'm making pretty good odds, wouldn't you say? Hey, if I get 3 out of 10,
yeah.
I'm making pretty good progress here. You see what I'm saying? There's the problem. And you guys are all aware of this. You all know all this stuff, right? This is all old hat to you. This is like, oh, come on, everybody knows this. I wish that were the case, but it's not. Let's see. How about, give me some other things. What else could be a weapons platform quickly?
Social media.
I'm sorry?
Social media.
Social media.
The internet.
The internet.
The workplace.
Political takeover of our public education system.
Oh, Lord.
Indoctrination.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
That's right.
The public education system. The government education system.
Yeah.
You said, preacher, not every teacher is a maniac. I know. I agree with that. I've met some teachers that I think are pretty sharp. But 1 out of 10 is not very good odds, is it? 1 out of 1,000 across the country, that's not very good odds. Would you gamble it with your children now? Hey, knowing what you know right now about the public education system, would you gamble it with your children, with your own children? I would. I most certainly would not. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm just saying. Maybe you say, well, that's the parent's job to educate the children. I agree with that, I really do. But how often do the parents actually educate the children? Remember, they're getting 8 hours a day of public education. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. What are they getting from the parents to compete with that? Not only that, but they got a classroom full of friends, which are also weapons platforms. Right? Peer pressure, which is a weapons platform. Miss Cindy?
My granddaughter starts, middle school, or whatever they call it, next year, and they got a paper on a form for my daughter to fill out. And on that paper it said, please indicate what pronoun your student would like to be called, and there were like 6 different pronouns.
Yeah.
Z and, I don't know.
Sure.
Zoo,
Sure,
instead of, and so my daughter wrote she and her.
sure.
It's amazing.
It is outrageous, is what it is. But here's one, hey, look at, we got 5 minutes, let's be done in 2. Somebody tell me. What's the danger of that? Even if her granddaughter doesn't buy into all that stupidity, what are they doing just by handing her the card and expecting her to fill it out?
Validate.
They're authenticating it, they're validating it, they're legitimizing it.
Yeah.
Because even if she doesn't agree with it this year, 6 months into it, next year, 6 months into that, next year, 6 months into that, till the card is just normal and routine and, oh yeah, here we go again. Well, you think nothing of it, doesn't bother you a bit, you're used to it. If I get you used to it, you see the danger? I just get you used to it. If I get you used to a little poison in your milk,
Yeah.
right? What do we do with this? What are we gonna do with it? I think first you have to be armed
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that you have your eyes open, right? You pay attention to what's being said.
Yeah.
When you see some news thing, I think you ought to immediately wonder why that particular story was run, why it was worded that way. Do y'all ever do that when you're reading news clips?
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why they phrased it with that word, and they phrased it like this, and
Yeah.
they put it like that?
Because there's an agenda.
It's almost like you can, after a while, you look at a news thing and you're like, is it just me? Y'all all doing that, right?
It's not impartial news.
No, it is
There's
not.
an agenda.
No.
It is, yeah, it is, the more you become aware, of it, it's true, Brother Sid, the more you become aware of it, the more you spot that thing a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
But see, look at us, how many are there here? What do we got tonight? What's the number? 35? 38? There are 38 of us. We need it to be about 6,538.
Right.
But, we're better than one.
Yeah. Right.
And we've got the Lord Jesus Christ as our general. So we do what we can. How many was on the ark?
8.
Even Jesus started with what? 12. Amen. And even then we turned to him, remember, and said, well, everybody else has left.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Y'all going too? How many, hey, do you ever do this? Do you ever say to the Lord God in a prayer, to whom shall I go, Lord? Thou hast the words of eternal life. I am here. Amen.
Amen.
Let's stand.